407 years ago, there was a podcast that was released, and it was the Co-Optimal Podcast. And
what amount of time is that?
I think a score is 14 years. So
Holy hell.
14 years or something like that. How many is a score? 20.
20?
A group or set of 20.
So 4 score. So 80 years ago?
That's when the podcast started.
A lifetime ago we started. We have 52 subscribers.
You know what? If that was the case, I'm sure
after 80 years. Oh man.
After 80 years, if we had that was it, you know, I'd still love that I was able to do this podcast with you, you ungrateful little shit. So, hi everybody. Welcome back to the podcast, the Co-Optimal Podcast, where we talk about a bunch of gaming things and sometimes things that aren't gaming because we do what we want.
You goddamn right.
We got so contrary to last 1,400 podcasts, we have a lot to talk about. There's so much that we want to talk about today. We actually there's more stuff that we are gonna talk about, but we had to cut some of it down because we were like
penis.
We were gonna talk about penis a lot. Yeah,
I just felt like saying it.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, Juan. But yeah, so there's a lot to talk about. But before we get into our topics, let's talk about how you are, Juan. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Tell me something interesting that's happened in your life recently.
Why do you always do this? I have nothing interesting, Cody. I suck.
Did you get your birth certificate yet?
No, for reasons. There's real reasons.
There's real reasons that you'll tell me about after the podcast, so I can yell at you for.
Yes.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think of anything interesting that I've done, and I can't think of
any games, anything.
Nope.
Okay. Yet again, another week you're letting everyone down. I
know, man. I just live a very boring life.
So
I started up Overwatch for the first time in I don't know how long. I played 2 games.
We talked about that last podcast.
What? Oh, did I do that last week?
Yeah. Yes.
I did it again. It feels like I go so long without playing the game. In actuality, it's probably not that long.
Just a week at a time.
Yeah. I don't know. It gets boring really fast. So.
Oh, see, you didn't say that last week, but this week you're saying it. This week, Juan's a little bit more chatty. Everyone, last week Juan wasn't in a very chatty mood, but he's ready to go. He's ready to party.
I'm ready to suck ass and eat grass. I don't know if
that's not a saying. I don't know if that's a saying. That's never been a saying, and never will be. I'm ready to suck ass and eat grass. Ready to skate fast and eat ass.
No, hell no, dude.
So, okay,
vegan
so
life.
What? So I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Juan. You never ask me how I'm doing, and it really makes me feel good.
It's because nobody gives a fuck.
So on to our first subject.
Nobody gives a fuck.
So recently there was a live stream of Fallout 76 that was played by, it was a popular, I think it was hosted by Bethesda themselves, and it was with the streamer Ninja. If you don't know who Ninja is, he's a very popular streamer that streams a lot of Fortnite and a few other games that are just as irrelevant as Fortnite. And him, Logic, the rapper, I'm assuming, is the Logic they're talking about, because why else would they just refer to them as Logic? Because I don't know anybody else named Logic. And then Justin Roiland doing the voices for Rick and Morty, but being as Rick and Morty, so playing it as though Rick and Morty were playing it with Ninja and Logic.
That's so odd. What the fuck is Bethesda doing, dude?
So, listen, I'm going to say this. Cool idea, I guess, to kind of get some to get some popularity in there with like certain personalities and stuff like that. They probably paid a lot of money to get this to happen, to get people to watch it. And I guarantee that there's a decent amount of people that probably checked it out, right? But why? Why this group of people? Ninja, Logic, and Rick and Morty?
Like, I get Ninja because he's a very popular, very popular
fair enough.
Streamer. But the rest of them, like again, Logic. Okay, Drake did a stream and Drake's stream did really well. Okay, whatever. But like Logic and Rick and Morty.
So I think the Logic was just put in there probably because he didn't even seem like he knew what Fallout was at all himself.
So off the wall, like it's just weird. It's just a random group of people.
Rick and Morty, I can understand because it's like they're like more sciencey. It's like this weird sci-fi sort of show, you know, with like some humor in it. And so maybe they put it in there like, oh, sci-fi, like the nuclear devastation. They can make references to certain things, just something like that. I guess I can put that in there. You know what I mean? I can get that. But all of them together and doing this weird, uncomfortable live stream that. The only reason you'd want to watch was for Justin Roiland doing the voices for Rick and Morty, or maybe just Ninja if you like that personality, and then mainly just watching Fallout 76 gameplay would be the only reason that you'd want to watch this. But why would you want to watch this over any other sort of stream? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was there to entice people? And if for anybody that's like, oh, but those are great people, I'm sure it worked fine together. I'm going to say this. I watched, chunks of the stream, and it was kind of cringy. Near the very end of it, they started to get a flow going, and they're like making more jokes, and they seemed like they understood the game better, and everything was going fine. But why would you have people that are playing the game, I think it was for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. Who don't know any mechanics of the game, stream together, all impromptu, all like just like whatever came to their mind, without knowing how the game's played. Probably barely, like I think only one of them knew how, like anything related to the game or anything going on with it. Like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. It's like you made it a very weird stream because no one was prepared at all. No one knew what they're doing. If everybody knew how to play, environment. Yeah, if everybody knew how to play the game, at least it would have made it more comfortable. But you spent literally an hour and a half of people figuring out how the game works, and then afterwards they start to like get that flow. Imagine if they would have just like played one of the betas before and kind of understood it, and then they got to play for like that 3-hour time frame. Would have made more. It would have been a better stream. Yeah, way more sense. I don't know. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this. That Bethesda did anything bad. I just don't understand.
Bethesda is just off their ball right now. Like, I don't know what's going on with them, but they are making some bad calls.
I mean, what's your opinion on that? Like, what? I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. I just don't understand this. Like, Bethesda, there are some things that I feel like they could have done better with their decision making when it came to certain things. Like the beta could have been worked a little bit better, but that was mostly a marketing standpoint, I think. I'm assuming you're talking about how like a lot of people, it said like if you buy the game, pre-order it, you get the beta, and a lot of people were complaining that the beta wasn't like you didn't get to play it. You had time frames that you could play it, so it wasn't like, oh, buy it, you get to play it. It was more like you can be part of these certain time frames and play it. And we talked about some of the issues that people had. While I don't think that all of them are huge issues, I do acknowledge them as issues, and I think that yes, they're dumb decisions, and this is just another one that's like, this is another thing to me where it's not something that I think is super detrimental and people should hate Bethesda for, but it just didn't make any sense. Just another decision that makes no sense.
No, yeah, yeah.
And like, if that's what you mean by they're off their game or they're whatever,
they're just doing weird shit.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're just weird stuff that's like they don't normally do in that way. I get that. I 100% get that. I don't know though.
But I don't know. It's definitely like, I don't know. It probably got a lot of views, so I don't know if it was like a total letdown for some people.
I don't know if it was successful. I don't know if it like maybe there's a couple people that decide they wanted to buy the game. Who knows? But
Okay, into something else that is weird and doesn't really make too much sense.
I love
Sea of
those.
Thieves competitive PvP mode announced for early next year.
Okay, so Juan, I got a question. You played a little bit of Sea of Thieves.
I played
you
a decent amount of Sea of
Okay,
Thieves.
so you understand the mechanics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Sea of Thieves was already PvP always.
It was. It is. It's open world. Pretty much, you and a group of friends or a friend get a boat and you travel this pretty decent sized open world, which is majority the majority is water, and then there's like islands.
Okay.
Throughout that, you can do quests for like different like guilds or groups, whatever you want to call them. There's like the merchants and then whatever, so on and so forth, etc. And throughout your quest or whatever that you're doing, there are mobs, AI in the game. But at any point in the game or whatever, you are able to run into other players. Like there's always a chance that you can run into other actual players. So in that sense, it is PvP. This I don't really understand. It's like an arena, I guess.
So, I guess based on what it's showing is
It's just smaller.
The map is smaller, so and you're given like specific goals, and you're sort of guaranteed that you're gonna get into some sort of battle with somebody.
I guess that could be fun.
So it's more like kind of more of the lines of I don't know, like Guns of Icarus or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like where that's focused more like to be PvP. So this mode is focused towards the PvP. I thought that's what Sea of Thieves was, but I guess since now that you're saying like you have a chance to, and it's more about like going and looting and stuff like that. I guess this you're still trying to. You and friends are supposed to be taking on rival crews, so you're still trying to amass loot, but now it's more based on the PvP aspect. I'm assuming they did this because there were people that didn't want that in the game, and so they made a mode for them.
When I was actually playing Sea of Thieves and I was playing it pretty regularly, like I try to avoid players at all costs because you would lose your loot really fast, because it's not like you got to store your loot like on your person. All your loot was literally on the ship. So if somebody just got on the ship, they could pick up your shit and just jump off the ship.
Can you just kill them while they're on your ship though?
You can, but they just respawn. Like there's no real downside to dying in Sea of Thieves.
So then what? Well then
they respawn. It's like a little bit of a time period or whatever, and
can
then
you destroy their boat then?
On the ship. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're trying to do. What if you destroy someone's boat when they have the treasure on it?
You lose the treasure.
So if someone were to jump on, let's say they somehow got onto your boat. Like I don't know how the game is, if there's indicators or anything.
Coolest shit I've ever done. The coolest shit I ever done. I was on one of the biggest boats. Well, it's the biggest boat because there's only two. There's like a slew. It's a galleon. Okay, so I was on a galleon, and we're getting chased by a galleon. And I jumped off the boat as this boat was behind us. I caught their ladder, climbed up onto their boat, and dropped their anchor while they were sailing like towards us. Stopped their boat right in the middle of the ocean. It was really cool because then like they never caught us again. I just jumped off the boat and I died and respawned on our boat. But, like there's so much more to the combat in that game than just like firing cannons at each other, because you can actually board other people's ships and like attack their person or just steal their loot or whatever need be. So I don't know. The like closer quarters like PvP might be something that's needed.
Interest some people, I guess. I just don't see like if it's about the loot. What's stopping somebody, like I was saying, from jumping onto the boat, taking like the treasure real quick, almost as their ship's about to be destroyed or something, and then take the loot and then Well, I guess if the ship. So if the ship's. So what happens if your ship's destroyed, but then the person is on the boat still?
What, you just end up in the water, swimming.
No, I mean, the person
mean?
that's on the enemy's boat.
Oh, he's fine. He doesn't die or anything. So, like, you're saying, like, okay, me and you are on a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get off the boat. I go on their boat. They sink our boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And the only way to get back to the boat, though, is to either have it be nearby to jump back on or to die.
You got to get another boat. You got to respawn. Like, you'll die, respawn, and there'll be another boat for you guys.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it's a weird game, but I don't really
like,
know
to an extent.
I don't really know if this was something that was needed though, because there's raids, and they're like very noticeable. It puts a giant like green glowing skull in the sky, and like all the players flock to the raids. So if you want PvP, just go to the raid.
Okay, so then yeah, this is just like, it's kind of like if they thought that they needed to add a PvP mode like other MMO type games have PvP modes, except for since this game's kind of always PvP anyways, all it's doing is giving you a smaller map. So they could have literally just said, we've introduced a new map that's small.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds like. That's kind of dumb, but okay. Whatever then. I mean, I guess each your own. I'm sure this will be enjoyable to some people. It just doesn't. I don't know if it makes much sense, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna go one way or the other. So we'll see. All right. So, do you want to jump into the next subject?
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll talk about the major Overwatch update that's gonna happen. So, you know what's weird about this one? What's weird about this patch this update that's coming for Overwatch? It's requiring a full reinstallation of the game.
That's so weird. It's so weird to me. It seems so inconvenient.
A full reinstallation of Overwatch. According to the patch notes, or like something that was released with the patch, it says the next major patch will have some pretty fundamental changes to the game client. The number of backend changes we're putting in is substantial enough that we can't just patch over the current content efficiently. And then, as that says, as a result, when the next patch comes out, the client will fully reinstall itself to handle these changes. We know that this isn't ideal for people on metered connections, so hopefully this announcement helps you prepare for this coming update. So
what is that? What is metered?
Metered, it means like they can only download so fast or so much at a time. Here's two things. One, why does it need to have a full installation? Like, what is changing about the game so much in the client and in the game itself that can't be fixed with a patch? And then also, the second thing is what is telling people about it beforehand help anybody with if they still don't have a chance to download it ahead of time? It's not like it's a preload where it's like, oh, okay, we're letting you know about this so you can preload it so you can have it on your computer ahead of time since it's going to take a while so you can get it before the game comes out. You know what I mean? Even though it might take a while to download, you don't have to worry about not missing any gameplay. Telling somebody that the next time you start your game, once this patch comes out, it'll do a full reinstallation. All you're doing is letting me know that I'm gonna have a full installation. So now I can tell my buddy, hey, I can't play tomorrow until I fully reinstall the game. Like,
thanks for letting me know how inconvenienced I'm gonna be.
Like it's still gonna take me 12 hours to do it. Whereas if you let me do it 12 hours sooner or something, like preload this, then I can have it done and I can play once the patch comes out.
Cody, goddammit, we don't do things that make sense. Just no. I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand why it needs reinstallation and why you would tell people ahead of time that it's gonna need it and say that we hope it helps prepare you. Just say it and say it. Look, this is what's gonna happen. That's it. Don't say we're fuck that. Fuck that. We don't make sense. We make a podcast. It's not your job to think.
All right. You're right. Okay. Moving on. So, a cool thing that's finally finally coming to the Nintendo Switch is the YouTube app. So for anybody that has Nintendo Switch, you don't have like a lot of knowledge on Nintendo Switch. Am I right in saying that one?
Yeah, you're right.
So from its release, like everyone knew that it wasn't going to have a YouTube on it right away. They were like trying to like figure out stuff to make sure things could have it, like create their own sort of app for it. The same with some other like video streaming devices. So in November of 2017, Hulu was added. So last year, Hulu was added. So finally, people on Switch were able to watch something. I mean, they had to have Hulu, but like at least they'd have the ability to watch some videos on the Switch.
Instead of nothing.
Yeah, instead of nothing. Instead of just like literally just playing games, like is what it was for. And this actually came out, I think it was yesterday or today. I want to say it was today.
Oh, wow, it's like really new, really recent. Okay.
They just released the YouTube app on the Switch, obviously free. And you don't need Nintendo's like online subscription to play it, which would be stupid if you did. So that's great. You can watch it both docked and handheld modes, the YouTube app. It's super cool. You can log in with your Google account, everything normal. It's just like every other YouTube app. They finally brought it to Nintendo Switch. Just a small announcement, like for some, but for others that only had a Nintendo Switch or whatever, this is just a really cool thing for them. Now I can, if like I don't want to sit at my computer and I want to lay on my bed, and Becca's watching fucking Roman Atwood on the YouTube app on her TV, I don't have to watch that. I can just lift up my Nintendo Switch and start what?
What you just said she was watching?
Roman Atwood? He's a vlogger. She likes watching him. I'd watch him with her sometimes because I have nothing better to do. He used to be like a popular prankster, I guess.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. He's got like a faux hawk.
Yes, he did used to have a faux hawk.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's not a bad streamer. Okay, not streamer, vlogger.
But he like if you can now like pull up your Switch and actually watch it on that. I mean, we all have phones now too, so I don't know if this was like the most detrimental to a lot of people, but whatever. Like this allows some cool things to come.
This is kind of like a one-up, you know, like cool.
It's just another cool thing that's making it a little bit more like multimedia functional against its competitors, PS4 and Xbox One. Like a lot of people could say, "Oh, well, yeah, Nintendo Switch has these games, but it doesn't have like as good of graphics." But it's like, okay, well, it still has these games come out, and like there's graphics that are still good on it, and like there's these really awesome games, like and it's mobile, so it had that. But then they'd be like, okay, well, I can't even watch YouTube on it, and it's like, all right, well, nope, now you can. So there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just a cute little thing, cool little thing, and it's cute. It can be cute if you want to be cute. You're cute,
it's
one.
Fucking sexy. Thank you.
All
right, something that's absolutely fucking insane.
We'll just transition, to this very awful. Very awful situation that we just kind of wanted to bring up, just because it's so recent that it happened, and it seems like every podcast, which means every week, we have to talk about
Jesus.
This.
Yeah, that's stuff. Holy shit, dude. It's been really like I don't even know the word, dude. It's been happening
rough.
a lot.
It's been rough.
Yeah. Holy hell! Like these shootings are out of hand.
Like so what we're talking about is
what's his name? Ian David Long, right?
Yeah, the piece of shit.
He was a shooter, correct?
Yes, he was a shooter.
Did you see all his social media posting?
I did happen to take a look at it.
Holy fucking crazy, dude.
So
he's talking about how he's not insane while he sounds insane.
Pretty much so pretty much what's going on is the Thousand Oaks shooter, which if anybody doesn't know, this is like a few days, like a couple days before, even this information was given to us. in Thousand Oaks. I think it's California. This guy goes in, ex-military, goes in, shoots up the place. Okay, people try to stop him. I think 12 people died. Very, very, very sad and unfortunate thing that happened here. I mean, that's all that can be said every time one of these happens, and there's so much that can be done to prevent this stuff, but just isn't, and it's just another tragic event. But yeah, that's who this Ian David Long went and at a bar committed this horrible act. While this act was taking place, just let's just take a look at some of the things that he was saying. Okay, he had also he knew that people were gonna try and say that he was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, who the fuck thinks? Oh yeah, the mass shooter, the gunman. He's a pretty rational thinking guy.
Well, I mean, but you have to think of it like this though too. Is he's saying this because he knows that people won't do anything about it, because and this is what's so tragic, is the guy is aware enough that he knows that nobody's going to do anything and just say that he's insane, and he makes note of that because he knows that people aren't going to ever blame anything other than the fact that the person's insane.
That's what he says. He says,
and so yeah, take a look at it.
In quote, he says, "I hope people call me insane. Wouldn't that just be a big ball of irony? Yeah, I'm insane, but the only thing you people do after these shootings is hopes and prayers, or keep me in your thoughts every time and wonder why these keep happening." That was his words. Quote.
Like, and he posted this.
Yeah.
On, I think it was Facebook? No, it was Twitter. Sure. I think it was Twitter. It just said social media. I don't think it actually said what it was.
Yeah,
they don't. I don't think they want to bring any more attention to what it was. But it also apparently he posted. This says this is shortly before the shootings took place. It's too bad I won't get to see all the logical and pathetic reasons people put in my mouth as to why I did it. Fact is, I had no reason to, and I just thought, fuck it. Life is boring, so why not? Obviously, I don't believe that. I mean, obviously, I don't think that's just what it was. But it's... The guy has mental issues. The guy has mental issues. But he also makes a good point in saying that just because, I have mental issues doesn't mean that you don't do anything and hope that nothing changes. You can't just say, oh, it's because he's crazy and, there's nothing you can do about crazy people. Even if you don't want to do anything about the guns themselves, then you always can do something about people that have something wrong with their head. If you know that there's something wrong with their head. And I guess I was actually reading, I read something else, another article, and it was talking about how the father knew that there was something wrong with him. And they had put him in some sort of therapy or whatever like that, but then decided that it wasn't up to his standards, or it wasn't working what they thought it would, and then took him out of it.
What the hell?
So Donald Trump described him as a very sick puppy with a lot of problems, and may have been suffering from PTSD. I guess he said, neighbors said that he had loud fights with his mother, and the police were called in April.
I was reading through this, sorry.
Go ahead, if you have something.
I was just looking at the kid who was shot. It says among the victims were Cody Kaufman, 22, had been planning to join the military and was looking forward to the arrival of his baby sister later this month. And it made me think, because I went to school with a kid named Cody Kaufman.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it? He's 22. It's around your age, isn't it?
Yeah, I was looking, and I don't see him on Facebook, but I hope that's not who that was. That'd be awful.
And I mean, look at this. His father said, I talked to him last night before he headed out the door. First thing I said was, please don't drink and drive. Last thing I said was, son, I love you. That was the last thing I said. And it's like, that's cool that he was able to say that, but it sucks that that's
What he went and did.
the last thing. Like, well, that's what happened to him. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happened to him. Is that he's dead now. You know what I mean? That this because someone decided.
Hold on. That's whose father said that?
That was
Cody
victims.
Coffin's. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about the
No. And then like another thing I noticed is like one of the victims, that like one of the people that died at this shooting was a survivor of last year's massacre at the concert that happened in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
that person got out of one mass shooting to go to another to die.
What is
how
what
ironic?
Are the chances?
How? But that's what it is though. It's so common now. This is what's so upsetting, and like it's actually like almost bringing tears to my eyes just thinking about it. Is where are we as human beings and as a country where every year you'd have like you have there's a potential that you can like, and more often than that it happens, but imagine you go somewhere and you survive this thing that's the most horrific event that you've ever experienced, right? And then you go somewhere else and then you die to the same exact horrible event, the same exact one pretty much. The only thing that changes is where it was at and how many people died. That's it. Everything else is the same. People got shot for no reason.
For no reason. Obviously, he fucking said it for no reason besides that he was bored.
What do you? This is the thing that bothers me the most is what do you do?
That's where I'm stuck at, man. Is like it honestly feels hopeless. Like there's nothing you can do, and you can't even blame it on guns because I've had this argument before. If people want to hurt people, they're gonna do it. Like
it's true, but like to me, this is where it comes down to though is. People stop and they say, what can you do? But then don't try anything.
Yeah, there hasn't been any like conscious effort towards
changing
resolving
anything.
The issue. Yeah, no, there hasn't been.
It's just leave it the same. Like this is the thing is I don't think that like banning all guns would fix anything. And I don't think that just like, a little bit stricter health or mental like evaluation will change like everything.
Maybe if they did like,
but they gotta do something. You have to do something.
Periodic mental evaluations throughout high school, like when you're creating the foundation of the person that you're going to be throughout the rest of your life. Maybe that would help.
I look at it like this: like if first of all, it says that after he got in a loud fight with his mother and the police were called out, though on that occasion, mental health experts decided intervention was not needed. So what this means to me is, I feel like you need to have this is what it is. The least we need to have is background checks that look at your criminal history in every sense, in every state and in federal, every level. Okay, you need to have a mental evaluation taking then and there by either somebody that's a professional there, or they have to go to a doctor. And even though that still necessarily doesn't mean anything, because a lot of people are proven like that they're mentally fit even when they're not. But like right now, there's nothing. Okay, you check a box in most states that says I'm mentally fit. That's how most states are. And so you should need a document proving that you're mentally fit to own a gun. And then I feel like if you have a gun, you're required to do so many hours of training and like in terms of safety and everything related to that. And people can say, well, that's a lot of effort to get my given right to own guns. But it's like, okay, you're right. It's a little bit more effort, but then after that, you can have your guns and it's fine. Like, people say it's going to make it harder for people to own guns that don't do these things. And it's like, no, because if you have no problems, then you'll be able to get all these guns, right? Like, it's as simple as that. I don't think that banning all guns or doing anything, I don't know if that's the right decision. I mean, I'm gonna look at other countries to examples. Obviously, it's different because of what country you're in, and like there are other countries, that are bigger size that have, these restrictions on guns that don't have as many shootings as us. That's all I'm gonna say. But even though, all I'm gonna say is like, everything's dependent too on the type of society and everything like that. So I'm not saying that's gonna work for us. But
No. Yeah.
is it better to sit here and just say my hopes and prayers for my thoughts and prayers for the victims,
and throw your hands in the air,
and then move on and say nothing will fix it, and say there's no way to fix it, and not try anything? Even if we were to go down the wrong path and we did something and it ended up not working, then just revert it back to what it was. It's as simple as that. Am I wrong there? What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
But why try nothing? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
You're not gonna make any ground doing nothing. So something needs to happen, because we cannot keep, as a society, just being okay with all these mass shootings and like just people dying. We can't be okay with that.
No. So I'll say this. I will say, I give my my condolences and my thoughts to these people that are killed, but I'll also do more for you, and I'll continue to think of ways that we can make sure stuff like this happens less or not at all. I will personally say that I would find a way that I can do that in whatever way I am capable as a human being, but I will not sit back and do nothing anymore and expect nothing and don't think that anything won't be changed. I'll say at least my voice will be heard for you guys and say some change needs to happen. I believe it does. And I may not know exactly what it is, but I know something needs to change. And I'm sorry that you had to lose your life to a fucking
bullshit, shitbag shit person.
Yes, a shitty person with a shit existence. Just fuck it. All right.
Fuck him.
Off that, yeah. Off that garbage scenario.
Okay.
So Black Ops 4. We haven't talked about it in a while.
I want it. I still haven't bought it. I still want to buy it. It looks good.
If it was free, I'd play it.
I don't know, man. I don't know where I sit with this. Like, I want to play it. I just don't want to spend money on it.
And I mean, I agree. And I agree. I don't want to do that either. Plus, I'm about to be playing Fallout 76. Fuck ton.
Yeah.
Fuck ton. Literally in 2 days. I'm so excited. I'm waking up. Okay, so the game comes out at midnight Eastern Standard Time of the 14th, like midnight. So like the minute it turns midnight, that's 5 o'clock in the morning here. I'm going to bed early that night, and I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to start streaming. That's just a little promotion I'm giving everybody. I'm going to start streaming and playing it.
All right. Well, we're not talking about Fallout 76.
I just had to interject that. Okay, so what are we talking about, Juan?
Black Ops 4 microtransactions are even worse than we thought.
Oh, what does that mean?
That the drop rates fucking suck, apparently.
So we all know that microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff like that all have like shitty drop rates sometimes.
Hold on. So with the whole Call of Duty like franchise and whatnot, these are relatively new, right? Am I wrong? Like these happened around like Advanced Warfare. That this
yes,
like the little
loot boxes or anything related to it, like there's some sort of like random chance to get something.
Yeah, so these haven't been in Call of Duty for forever. Like these are, like I said, relatively new. And I have not had any experience with buying loot boxes in Call of Duty, so I don't know how the pricing is or the drop rates actually are or how they actually feel. But just reading through this article that I got pulled up right here, it seems really bad.
So this YouTuber is like, for example, this YouTuber spent $1,000.
Which is an absurd amount of money to drop on a game.
I don't know why you would,
one given time.
I don't know why you would drop that much anyways. But $1,000 he dropped on this game, which is also the maximum amount someone can spend on the in-game currency. in attempt to unlock everything in the game. He's just like, I'll just unlock everything so I can show it off. That's what he does as a YouTuber. Is one of the things that he does. He shows everything off. I'll promote his name right here. Might as well. Mike Mar, MAC or MATMICMAR. Mike Mar. That's a. I'm sorry, Matt. That's a dumb name. That's so fucking hard to say. Triple M.
Matt Mike Mar. There
Yes.
you go.
So I'm pausing real quick. Juan, I'm gonna shit myself. I'll be right back.
God damn it.
Okay, guys, I'm back from the duty. So we were in the middle of talking about how this guy spent $1,000, Matt Mike Mar, Triple M, because he wanted to unlock everything in Black Ops 4. Unfortunately, he found out that it wasn't as simple as spending thousands of dollars worth of money. He spent $1,000 and was able to unlock everything that was available to him, like stickers, the cards, emotes, and some other random cosmetic bullshit. But he only got one single weapon variant.
Holy hell, dude. $1,000 later and you got one weapons variant. Like, how fucking unlucky. It sucks.
Like, it's not as bad as, like, some of the other, like, microtransactions are. I get what they're doing, but, like, can we really, like, is that really, like, how it is? Like, he had to have bought, like, based on what I'm reading, he bought everything, but the only thing that you get out of that in terms of weapon variants are just one? Like, I don't understand. So, are you telling me that there's all this cosmetic shit in the game, but only one weapon variant, like one weapon sort of thing that you can do? So you can make your guy look a little different. You can have an emote. You can fucking have some stickers or calling cards, whatever the hell. But you only get one weapon variant. $1,000.
That's so shitty. And I don't know if you know what, like, the weapon variants are, but in past Call of Duties, they were just like, it would have like specific attachments on it, and it would come with a unique camo, and that was the weapon variant.
Like, but normally there's
like in Advanced Warfare, I want to say it was the guns actually performed different. So I don't know if that's how it is in this game or not, but
I don't know. I think like if you're gonna have $1,000 worth of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you should offer, like, don't make the stuff game breaking or like pay to win, but you gotta make it worthwhile. Like, I guess obviously you're not expecting people to spend $1,000, but I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid. Like, if you don't have anything, I just don't get it. Why $1,000 and you don't even unlock like cool shit? What's the point then? Don't have microtransactions then. How about that?
Don't spend $1,000. Shit.
That's true. That's very true. I don't know. It's just dumb. It's another thing that we're talking about, when, like, another topic of microtransactions. You know what I mean? Where the same thing happens. I mean, don't spend the money on it, but like, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do to make it better? I don't know.
Increase
it's
the
dumb.
drop rate. I don't know.
Yeah, increase the drop rate to make things a little better. That'd probably be cool, huh? But
okay, something that's not totally garbage, but still, related to gaming. How do you feel about Xbox One introducing keyboard and mouse support for Fortnite?
I think finally games are putting in mouse and keyboard support. Finally.
The issue I have for it is that for most console games, most games on console, there is an aim assist when it comes to actual gameplay, because of the lack of dexterity that you have with the analog sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So you're more inaccurate with a controller than you are with a keyboard and mouse. Do you think that it's going to give players who actually play with keyboard and mouse on console who still have that aim assist an unfair advantage.
I don't think they're gonna get the aim assist. I think what it's gonna do is it's gonna take it. They're gonna have it updated in the game where once a keyboard and mouse is detected, and you switch to the settings on there, it switches the settings and automatically turns off aim assist and won't allow it to be put on.
You think so?
Yep, that's literally the only thing that makes sense.
But okay, if they don't.
If they don't, then they're stupid.
You think those players?
Like I'm 90% sure that they would add that. That they'll take that, because the minute that you plug in a mouse keyboard, it like switches fundamentally what options would show up. Like you know how it says like push X to do this or B to do this. It's gonna switch to what the keyboard controls are, right? And the minute that happens, like the minute you plug that stuff in and the game detects that, it's going to switch that off. There'd be no reason to leave that on. If they did it, they're actually the most idiotic people in the whole world. I think as long as they don't do that, though, there's no downside in adding keyboard and mouse support in a game.
No, not at all. I don't see any downside besides for that. If it allows you to continue with aim assist, I think you are way more advantageous than anybody with a controller.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. But the thing is you also don't need aim assist with a mouse, like a mouse and keyboard. Like, yeah, it would definitely help you.
That's the thing, because like you don't need it, and then it being there is gonna be.
But I don't. I 1,000,000% don't believe that like they would do that. Like I'm like I said, I 90% like would believe that it's not gonna work that way. It'd be dumb. It'd be dumb.
Well, they already have keyboard and mouse support on PlayStation.
Not for every game. Not for games, do they?
For Fortnite.
They do?
Yeah, my brother plays with keyboard and mouse.
There you go. There's literally no downside, and why not? Do they have the aim assist on that?
I do not know.
I do not think so. I do not think that they would. And it all comes down to they know better.
I don't even know if Fortnite has aim assist. I just know that most first-person shooters.
I think it has a light aim assist, and you can turn it on and off in the settings itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in the settings, it has options. So why wouldn't they make it so once you plug in a keyboard and mouse, it just automatically switches that to off and then puts a gray bar on it? That's what it sounds like it's going to happen to me.
That's how it should happen.
I'm pretty positive it'll happen that way. In terms of what you like, if this is good, and other than that effect, as long as that works out in the way that we think it was, what do you think this like do you think this is good or bad?
I love giving players or gamers in general the option to play with whatever controller they'd like to play with. That's why I'm such a big fan of like Scuff and like how they build their controllers and how they give like PlayStation, like options for Xbox like controllers and whatnot.
Right.
I think just having those different variants and those different options is such a good thing for the gaming community in a whole.
Yeah, I think
it's
super
I don't see any
smart.
downside for it. Yeah.
I think there are games that work better with controllers, and there are games that work better with like shooters. I think most gamers realize that keyboard and mouse is the better way to play a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Right? I think most of us understand that as to be true. Like, there's like not many people that would disagree with that. They know that that's true, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in saying that though, anybody that says playing any type of fighter is better on a keyboard,
oh fuck no,
is stupid. But
it's so hard.
But like
Have
this,
you ever played them?
yes, it's terrible. But this is what you said, exactly what it is. Player choice.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every game should have the ability to give people the choice as long as it makes sense for the game and for everyone else. This would offer nothing more to people as long as the glitch or the bug that you said. I see that as a bug. I see that as leaving aim assist on is a bug that they would need to fix. But as long as that doesn't work that way, as long as I'm assuming that basically the game's going to be updated to be the PC version of the game, pretty much, right? Except for like with the graphics of the consoles, right? And in the PC version of the game, you can plug in a controller and use a controller if you want, and it turns on the option to have aim assist. I'm assuming it's going to be I'm assuming it's going to be different, the opposite for the console version is
it
what
would
I'm
only
seeing.
make sense.
But yeah, so that's the only thing that makes sense to me. They do it any other way, then they should just fucking throw themselves in the trash. But I think yes, giving people choice is the most important thing, and it's gonna be super cool to like see people be able to do that, because it's gonna make people be able to play the game better as well. It's gonna make it more competitive. I feel like way more competitive if they're able to use stuff that they want. And you can't say, oh, people are gonna have a one up because people are already playing cross platforms with others. So
yeah.
So it's cool.
I think I don't see any downside. I think it's a good thing.
Definitely a good thing. And you know what else is a good thing?
What?
Probably not Detective Pikachu, the Pokemon movie that's coming out.
Oh man.
So me and you watched the trailer.
Yeah. Is there anything about this, like, besides for this movie? Like, was there like a show or a comic book? Is this?
No, they talked about this like I think 2 years ago or something. They talk about making this movie, and they joked around with the voice of Detective Pikachu being Danny DeVito. That's what people wanted, anyways.
Oh my god!
Now what do we say we detect things? That's my Danny DeVito impression.
Oh no, man!
But instead,
we got Ryan Reynolds,
which is I love Ryan Reynolds.
I love Ryan Reynolds too, but I don't think I ever looked at Pikachu and was like, you know who sounds like Pikachu? Ryan
Reynolds. So I guess the only thing that I can say based on the knowledge that's provided to me is this movie is about a kid who needs to find his father or something, or his parents, and he finds a Pikachu, and that Pikachu is a detective, and this kid wasn't a Pokemon trainer for some reason, and the Pikachu is like, I'm gonna be your friend because I'm Ryan Reynolds and I'm a Pikachu and I'm gonna tell you about the things, and he's like, oh yeah, it's great, I love it. And the trailer, so you made it sound the best when you said this looks like a movie that nobody wants, but will still probably like it anyways. Nobody wants or asks for it.
Nobody asked for it, but nobody's gonna complain. Like,
that's what it is. No one's gonna complain about it. Well, I mean, like, people are gonna complain about it, but like, people are gonna enjoy this movie, but nobody wants it or asked for it or seeing it or like. I when I first heard about this announcement like 2 years ago when they were talking about it, I was like, I don't want this. This is dumb.
I could go the rest of my life without ever having this.
A live-action Pokemon movie sounds stupid anyways. I honestly don't care. Like, I don't think things need to be live-action and like have like a mix. I don't think that's necessary for everything. But
it's not. It's not. But
it's just
it looks good.
No, it doesn't. It looks like a movie that I would watch and be like, okay. Afterwards, I'd watch it on and be like, all right, like, that was Pokemon. Like, God damn it. It's gonna be so fucking like, it's gonna be so mediocre.
I just don't fucking see Pikachu as Ryan Reynolds. God damn it. That's not the voice I imagine Pikachu. That's what bugs me the most. That's not fucking Pikachu. This fucking Deadpool. I don't want Deadpool Pikachu.
And like, it's gonna be like a PG movie. So it's just gonna be, I don't.
All right. Whose voice do you picture as Pikachu?
The person who voiced Tommy Pickles in the Rugrats.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
What about you?
I have no idea. Not
but
Ryan
not
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. You're right. There's nothing that sounds good about that. And like the Pokemon 2 look Uncanny Valley. Like they don't look bad, right? They look real.
Did you see that creepy ass Jigglypuff?
They yes I did. They look real, right?
Yeah.
But they look fake as well. And it's like you know what Uncanny Valley is, right?
No.
Where like something looks so like realistic, like hyper realistic and like humanistic that it looks off because it can't match the exact characteristics of being realistic, but it looks realistic. So like a lot of video games and stuff like that will have some sort of Uncanny Valley with their human models because you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh boy, like I don't know, for some reason just looking at this gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's like an actual phenomenon, like it's an actual like thing. And you look at it and you're like, oh boy, it's like, it makes me feel uncomfortable because it feels real, but like I know it's not because you can tell it's not. It's the actual definition is Uncanny Valley is a common unsettling feeling people experience when androids or humanoid robots or anything related that's supposed to be like realistic gives audio-visual simulations closely resembling like real-life stuff in many respects, but are not quite convincingly realistic. So, like, you ever see those androids that, like the AIs that people make, and they add, like, a flesh to it, and it starts talking, and it, like, makes you go, like, oh.
Creepiest shit ever.
But, like, it's like, realistic, but it's also not, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That's what Uncanny Valley is. And the Pokemon almost look like, it's like they look weird, and, like, Pikachu's really fucking hairy.
Yeah. Yep.
He's so hairy. Dude, like, and Mr. Mime, what?
That's what I was just about to talk about. He's so creepy. Look at this, like, weird little clown person, like little mime dude. He's so like human-esque that like if I ever seen a creature like that, I'd have to fight it. Like it's
and like Charizard is like horrifying looking.
It's a
like,
dragon.
I get that he would be in real life. Like I get that. But I didn't listen. They talked about making a movie, excited. And I thought the movie was going to be like the game or whatever that was coming out. You know what I mean? Like I thought that's what, because there's like a game, right? And I thought it was going to be like, I didn't think that there's going to be an actual movie. I thought it was going to be like a little anime thing.
I'm like rewatching the trailer with no audio right now just to like look at the Pokemon. And God, Pikachu is just like a little fucking fuzzball. And
it's like, isn't it like weird? It's like it's like a little uncomfortable.
Oh God, I just want to squeeze him though. But he's like odd shaped. Like he's. God, that Jigglypuff, man.
I'm done.
No, that Jigglypuff. I'm gonna get a screenshot of that creepy ass Jigglypuff, and I'm gonna send it to you. Because if I ever walked into a room with that thing, I'd have nightmares for the rest of my life.
I've seen it. I don't need to see the screenshot you're gonna send me. Okay. Anyways, so long story short. I don't want to see this movie, but I'm going to have to out of sheer curiosity as to why. And I don't want to give him my money, but I have no choice because you can't not and just be like, what's going on? Like when was the last time a Pokemon movie was even in fucking, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this one.
Look at it.
No. It's mad. I don't like that. I just want to know, when was the last time that Pokemon movie was even in theaters?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Did you look at it?
Yes, I saw it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't know. Are you gonna see this movie?
Maybe. I don't know. It's not something I'm like super excited about.
I'm not either. But I'm saying, like, are you gonna see it at some point in your life? Do you think?
Oh yeah, probably.
Me too. And I don't know how I feel about it, but I'll roll with it. So
like they made his little Pika Pika. You know how he normally sounds. They
Cute
made it adorable.
and, like, yes,
adorable.
exactly.
And then fucking Ryan Reynolds comes through and it's
no,
like,
they can't understand me, kid. And I'm like, all right.
Why is he a grown man?
Yeah,
Why is this little mouse a grown man?
I gotta get off this subject. I can't talk about this anymore. I'm done with it. And this is gonna bring us to like a news flash of something that literally just came out. Very tragic, very upsetting, but like, is anybody really surprised? And I don't mean that offensively as much as I'm trying to not be offensive, but Stan Lee, the main, like, one of the main people behind Marvel for a long time, comic book writer, edited them,
co-founder,
film, right? Like he's formerly the editor-in-chief.
Okay.
Like he had so much to do with like Marvel and comics in general. Like he's just found out like a few hours ago that he died. He's dead, and I don't know. I don't think anything's released how he died yet. I'm assuming it's like he was in declining health anyways.
He's 95 years old.
He was 95. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be like you know, don't be upset, but like it's definitely like you should have expected this, and it sucks. But like, you know, I feel sorry for everyone that was close to him. And it's a tragedy, but like now he can rest since he was having all these health issues, and it was causing him actual financial issues, I guess, because his health was declining so bad. And even though he's like made money, like he had a lot of health issues apparently. But his Twitter page even showed, like, you know, it shows his birthday and it just says Excelsior. That's what it says. It's his like birth and his death, and it says Excelsior, and it's like that's exactly like how you should look at it. Like, celebrate him, you know?
The passing of a legend.
He did a lot. I'm sad to see him go, but
it's honestly crazy how much that man actually did, you know. If you think about like the majority of the superheroes that you know and you've grown up like with, it's because of that man. Like, not, I can't say it's solely because of him, but he has had part in the majority of the superheroes that you know.
He was in major collaboration with all of like almost all of the comic book characters from Marvel. Like, he co-created like he helped co-create Spider-Man, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Black Panther, X-Men. I mean, he helped co-write a lot of people as well, like Ant-Man, Iron Man, Thor. These are like Spider-Man. Like that's something that people should really like know. Like, from like, he had a big influence on Spider-Man and the Hulk. Like, he did a lot of stuff with that, and it's crazy how much how much work he put in, like the stuff that he did, and like how influential he was, and the fact that he was inside of these movies and people are just like, oh my god, there he is, like, oh wow, look at that. He was a very like involved person, and I don't think there was a lot of controversies about him. Like, I've never heard any like controversies about him. He's just a generally decent dude, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's sad, but I mean, you can't say it wasn't coming. You know, he's old.
Yeah, it's sad, but like, it's shocking because, but it's like shocking because it came out of nowhere.
It's one of those people like you know, or it's bound to happen soon. You know, but like, you just don't want it to happen. Like, you're not ready for it. You know, like, honestly, I don't know how old Morgan Freeman is, but I feel like that man's been old my entire life, and I've been waiting since I've been like 18 for him to pass.
Morgan Freeman is like the oldest actor that I can think of.
But I'm 81. Sad.
He's 81. But like, I'm waiting for him. That sounds so bad. Sorry, Betty White is the oldest actor that I know of, and she's 96.
Holy hell.
Morgan Freeman's 81.
Holy God, like Betty White's that old? Shit.
She's so old.
She's so old.
But yeah, so you know, Stanley, you're a legend, man, the myth, the legend, the writer of great things, just a decent dude, never seen anything bad, and I want you to know that this sip of water I'm about to take goes out to you and all the things that you helped create. So here's to you.
Thank you.
To you, Stanley. You will be missed, and I hope that your creative input wasn't the thing that helped Marvel to do so good, and that now that you're gone, your creative input is gonna not be there, and it turns to shit. Let's hope not. So,
yeah.
And with that, that's the podcast, Juan. What'd you think? What'd you think about our podcast today, Juan?
It was great. I did a fucking awesome job. You kind of sucked, but I was great.
I mean, you did a thing, that's for sure. And and I'm impressed because when you do a thing, you do things well.
Things get done.
Things get done. And
do them.
Do them. Bye, everybody. We will see you next week for another exciting episode of the Co-Optimal Podcast.
So everybody have a great day, a great week, and I love you guys.